For Eric J on Sports, I'm Eric J, and this is what I think. If you haven't yet watched AEW Double or Nothing 2025, you might want to turn this off because there are some spoilers involved in this commentary. Now, not including the pre-show matches, there were several matches on the show, and there was kind of a disturbing trend that I noticed in the show, and it's something I wanted to bring up. In the opening match, Mercedes Moné fought Jamie Hayter in the finals of the women's AEW Owen Hart Foundation Cup tournament. And the winner of the match was Mercedes Moné. Not unexpected because Mercedes is undefeated and they're pushing her really quickly. In the next match, Daniel Garcia and Nigel McGuinness faced off against FTR. Now, in this match, you would think that the guys that are looking for revenge, Garcia and McGuinness, would have won this match, but they didn't. FTR won the match. The next match was the stretcher match with Mark Briscoe and Ricochet. Again, you would have expected that since Briscoe was defending the honor of all the people that Ricochet had terrorized and bullied over the past few months, the good guy would probably get the victory, but he didn't. Ricochet won. Then it was the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, facing off against the Sons of Texas for the AEW World Tag Team titles. Nothing to expect here. The Hurt Syndicate are being pushed as big-time stars who are unbeatable in the ring. So yeah, the Hurt Syndicate won. And then Speedball Mike Bailey challenged Kazuchika Okada for the AEW Continental title. And Kazuchika Okada, though he has not been featured very much on AEW television, is still one of the best in the world. So yes, he won that match. But think about it for a second. In the first 5 matches on the main show, the heel won all of them. Mercedes beat Jamie Hayter, FTR beat Garcia and Nigel, Ricochet beat Briscoe, the Hurt Syndicate beat Dustin and Sammy, and Kazuchika Okada beat Speedball. It wasn't until match 6, match 8 on the show, match 6 on the main show, where you actually got a babyface victory. But the only reason you got a babyface victory was because there were 2 babyfaces in the match, Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa. They both came out of the right side tunnel. And then, of course, the Anarchy in the Arena, Kenny Omega and Swerve's team were victorious against the Death Riders and the Elite. And then we go back to the buffer match between semi-main event and main event, and the Don Callis family defeated Adam Cole's crew Paragon. So what I'm saying in this card is, where there were matches that featured a bad guy on one side and a good guy on the other side, only one good guy crew or good guy entrant won the match, and that was in the Anarchy in the Arena match. 6 other matches, the bad guy beat the good guy. 2 other matches, there were good guys on both parts. That's Toni Storm, Mina Shirakawa, and the Adam Page, Will Ospreay. I don't care what tunnel Adam Page came out of, he was a good guy in this match. So what that shows me is that either Tony Khan is a really big fan of the bad guys, like when people were cheering for the NWO and wearing their gear even though they were supposed to be the bad guys terrorizing WCW, or he doesn't really know how to book good guys. Because you look at some of the people who lost on this card. Jamie Hayter is a former champion. You kind of want to push her. I mean, maybe she wasn't the right person to beat Mercedes, but whatever. You want to push her because she is somebody that deserves it. Daniel Garcia, Nigel McGuinness. Nigel McGuinness comes from behind the broadcast booth. He lost to Bryan Danielson, and then he lost in the gauntlet match. Maybe you give him one finally against FTR? Maybe not. Mark Briscoe and Ricochet? It was a wild match, and Ricochet is the one that's being pushed, and Mark Briscoe is there to help. So yeah, of course Ricochet is going to win. And of course the Hurt Syndicate were going to be Dustin and Sammy, which is why, as MVP said during the show, Dustin and Sammy didn't put their titles on the line. There was no way I expected Mike Bailey to beat Okada, but I kind of did expect Paragon maybe to beat the Don Callis family, even though it was Takeshita Fletcher and Josh Alexander. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong are basically putting guys over. Cole is the TNT champion, but yeah, I would not have known what to call on that match anyway. I would have probably picked the Callis family if I were a betting man. So yeah, the good guys won in the important matches, if you want to say, the men's Owen Hart final, the women's world title, and Anarchy in the Arena. But it tells me again that Tony Khan either needs to figure out how to split this thing down the middle or stop giving away the ending. Because if bad guys are winning all the matches leading up to the main event, then that kind of tells you that in the main events, the good guys are going to win, doesn't it? Unless you were just going to go full bad guy all the way around, in which case the Death Riders would have beat the Ops and Kenny and Swerve in the Anarchy in the Arena match. But you gave the good guys the victory in that one. But you had to, because if you looked at your booking sheet and your results, you had to be looking at it going, wow, we didn't give a good guy a single victory heading up to this. The only good guys that had won a match against a bad guy on this card at all, period, were on the 2 pre-show matches up to that point. And even with that, the good guys shouldn't have won. Anna Jay and Harley Cameron over Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. Yeah, you pinned Penelope, but really you kind of want to keep Megan Bayne winning. She lost to Toni Storm, but you kind of want to keep her winning. So it's kind of weird, but I guess Tony Khan either really likes bad guys, or Tony Khan doesn't know how to write for good guys, or nobody told him, hey, buddy, you're giving away the ending by having the bad guys win all the matches, because once you get into the main events, people are going to say, hey, they're not going to go bad guy all the way around, so the good guys have to win, and the only opportunity for the good guys to win is in the main event, Anarchy in the Arena. Because nobody really truly expected Cole, O'Reilly, and Strong to beat Takeshita Fletcher and Josh Alexander. So I'm not complaining. I'm not sitting here saying, oh, AEW is trash and Tony Khan's a trash booker. That's not what this is. I'm just saying, on that card, on that night, he kind of gave away the ending by the way the pay-per-view started at the beginning. He kind of gave away the ending because you had bad guys win the first 5 matches in a row on the main card, and the only reason it wasn't 6 is because there was no bad guy in the Toni Storm Shirakawa match. Otherwise, maybe the bad guy wins that one too. But yeah, you kind of gave away the ending, Tony. So I'm just saying, maybe you mix that up in the beginning through those first 4 or 5 matches. You let a good guy go over once or twice, so that when you get to the end, people aren't saying, oh, well, the score is 5-0 in matches with a good guy and a bad guy, so the good guy has to win now, doesn't he? Just a thought. Remember to like and share this video and subscribe to this channel, and visit the Eric J on Sports website, and follow me on Facebook at Eric J on Sports 1, and on Instagram and Twitter at Eric J on Sports. And for Eric J on Sports, I'm Eric J, and this is what I think.